Good evening. I would like to welcome all of you all to our regular meeting on this April 6th, 2026. I would like to call this meeting to order and call roll.
Mullins,
Here.
Hanlon,
Here.
Noggle,
Here.
Spoon,
Here.
Wagers.
Here, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Opportunity for the public to be heard? Okay. And let's start with the Pace Setter Awards.
It's on now. Can I have Keenan Mushrush up here, please? As many of you may not know, I have known Keenan since 2006 when we worked at Limestone together. So when I saw her name today on my screen, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to have her. We became immediate friends at Limestone, and we worked graciously together. I think so.
I agree.
And I've loved her ever since. She's a great person, and I'm just so happy to have met a person like her and for all these years. So anyway, now that I'm all shaky, can I have Jay Roeder up here as well? He nominated Keenan for this awesome award. And he says Keenan serves as an administrative assistant at Page Academy, but her title barely scratches the surface of the impact she makes each and every day. While she flawlessly manages attendance transcripts and welcomes every visitor who walks through our doors, her true contribution comes far beyond those responsibilities. Keenan is steady. Her steady presence with our students and staff depend on her. She ensures She ensures students have snacks when they are hungry and cleans clothes when they need them. She really does. So a little story. I had one of a very difficult classroom, wonderful but difficult, and she would come down often just to give us a breather, and I couldn't imagine having a day without Keenan. So she really does do this with her students each and every time. So I have seen it first and foremost, and I'm so proud of her that she's continuing this. She steps into classrooms without hesitation, sitting beside students who need extra support, helping them read or reading to them when encouragement is what they need most. When the class needs coverage, she steps in. When a student needs patience, she gives it. When our staff needs help, she shows up. What makes Keenan exceptional is not just what she does, but how she does it, with compassion, consistency, and a genuine heart for our students. She understands that Page Academy, we are not just educating students, we are caring for them as whole people. Keenan embodies that mission every single day. So would you like to say something as well?
Well, I would just add that, that's a little bit of it. Since I got there in August, everybody kind of knows your admin assistant helps make sure the school runs smoothly, and they do so much. But Keenan goes way above and beyond anything I've ever seen. I can't go a day without seeing something. I'm like, okay, that's not something you would expect your admin assistant to do, whether it's bring quesadillas, biscuits and gravy, washing clothes, getting ready for testing. How are we going to get testing? Oh, I'll proctor. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Oh, you need me to sub a class so somebody else can administer testing? She'll do it. There's no question. So I just appreciate everything that she does for the kids, for me, the staff, and everybody else. Including Transition Academy and the Virtual Academy, because she kind of takes on everything for all three.
Can I have Miss Amy Pennington up here? And Mr. Bivin, would you like to come up as well? Okay, awesome. All right, so Mr. Bivin wrote, under Amy Pennington's leadership, the 2025 yearbook didn't just capture memories. It set a new standard of excellence. We are proud to share that the CPHS 2025 yearbook has been selected for Portfolio Volume 31, produced by Varsity Yearbook. This prestigious honor recognizes the very best books printed during the 2024-2025 school year, placing ours in the top 10% nationwide and potentially among the top 1% featured in the anthology section. That's amazing. That's awesome. This incredible accomplishment is a reflection of Miss Pennington's vision, high expectations, and commitment to tell the story of our students with authenticity and creativity. Because of her dedication and countless hours invested alongside her staff, our yearbooks will now serve as a model of excellence for schools across the country. That is what it means to be a Sandite pace setter. So, nice job. Mr. Bivin, would you like to say anything?
I would just like to say, where would we be without the Pennington family? One, it seems like they just keep coming, and then Miss Pennington, of course, has been a
Okay, could I have Ashley Weiss up here, please? Oh, I'm doing great. Except I can stand up in front and talk to people. That's not good. So, Neely, you want to come up here too? Come on. Yeah, come on. So Miss Weiss was nominated by Miss Horn for the Sandite Pacesetter Award. Miss Weiss works at Tulsa Boys Home, and this is what Miss Horn said about her. Ashley is an exemplary leader. She is firm, fair, and professional in interactions with all stakeholders. She navigates high-pressure situations with integrity, accountability, and compassion. Through her kindness, strength, and unwavering standards, Miss Weiss truly sets the pace for our school community and is highly deserving of this recognition. You want to say something?
I just want to say we've had a really tough year at Tulsa Boys Home, and I can't imagine going through that without her because she has been our rock. So we appreciate you.
Awesome. So she's going to get a certificate that says Sand Springs Public Schools proudly presents this certificate to Ashley Weiss for outstanding achievements and accomplishments as a Sand Springs Public Schools employee.
I'm going to present a Sandite Spirit Award, which is a little different, but I'd like to have Sophia Hart come and join me at the front. And Mr. Bivin, would you come up here with us as well? They're saying Sophia may have had to skip out of soccer practice tonight to make this, so that's okay. We love it that you're here. We have extremely intelligent students at Sand Springs Schools. We have one that stands above them all this year. Sophia Hart is, I'm going to read what what Ryan Biven wrote about her, Mr. Biven. He says, we are extremely proud to announce that Sophia Hart has been selected as an Oklahoma Academic All-State honoree. What a deal. What a deal. This prestigious recognition places her among the top 100 high school seniors in the entire state of Oklahoma based on academic achievement, leadership, and character. Sophia will formally be recognized by the Oklahoma Foundation of Excellence, which that's a wonderful event in Oklahoma City. I've been to a couple of times. It is treasurable. It's very nice. Foundation for Excellence, which honors the very best students across our state each year. Being named Academic All-Stars is one of the highest academic distinctions a student can earn in Oklahoma. Sophia's hard work, commitment to excellence, and dedication to her goals truly represent the very best of Charles Page High School and the Sand Springs School District. We're incredibly proud of her and this well-deserved honors. Please join us in congratulating Sophia on this outstanding accomplishment. And I understand she's also a pretty good goalie on the soccer team, so.
Yeah, we're just super proud and happy for Sophia. This is only the 31st academic all-stater in CPHS history, and so it's a big deal. And Sophia, really proud of you.
And Sophia, you get a little bit more than the other guy. You get a gift certificate from Tropical Smoothie to go with yours. So there you go. Congratulations. We're super proud. I'm going to give you that one too. So we'll do it on the other side. Parents as well.
Yes.
What an accomplishment.
Good job. Okay, thank you guys so much. That was our awesome part of our meeting. Now we're going to get into the business part, which can be awesome. So you're welcome to stay or you're welcome to go.
And they leave.
All right, Ms. Durkee.
So if you guys are up for it, Mr. Meldrum is here from Melbourne. I said that wrong, didn't I? From LD Kearns, and we have, at the end of the agenda, we thought we'd get him out of here early, but he wants to come and explain. It's a GMP addendum, basically, but we are taking the fire panels off, so there's an adjustment to the bottom number that we'll correct in the minutes, but I wanted Josh to come and explain that.
Okay.
Sure. So, in preparation of demoing the existing Clyde Boyd, this obviously covers the renovation of the auditorium, restroom, and also it includes fiber raceways between the auditorium and the gym. We had initially priced
May.
bid and publicly bid it if, until you get the scope nailed down. If not, it may come at a later date, so.
So as you guys know, we're going to be able to do the renovation and the demolition and renovation this summer. That portion we don't think will be done before school starts, but definitely we'll get a head start. What I didn't realize is how much work goes into planning for changing utilities and cutting those off and actually getting rid of a section of building that's connected to everything else. So it's pretty time intensive, and they've done a really great job planning that, but I appreciate the extra time going into the fire panel and all those things. So we're making a change. There will be a minutes documentation of the adjusted motion tonight with a different amount. So we wanted to make that notated publicly. So
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the LD Kearns contractor grand maximum price amendment for Clyde Boyd Middle School project. Assign the following bidders to LD Kearns Contractors Incorporated, A through O, R and S excluding P, which is Summit Fire and Security, and Q, Summit Fire and Security, and also adding D Kearns Luxury Vinyl Tile in Classrooms for $8,847. Revised grand maximum price is $26,937,113.99.
I'll second. I get the easy part.
Just want to make sure that the fire alarm system, when we're through with what the plan is now, we'll have a singular fire alarm system for the auditorium, the gymnasiums, and the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade center.
correct. And the 6th grade center will be connected to the gymnasium.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect, perfect.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we had a motion and a second. Can we vote, please?
Mullins,
Aye.
Hanlon,
Aye.
Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon,
Aye.
Wagers.
Aye. Okay, so that was
Yep. Thank
item.
you, Josh. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you very much.
So moving on to item number 6.
6, yes.
Lots to talk about, really, but it is the end of the year, so I'm going to let you peruse through your notes. CPHS end of the year calendar, Biv took off, but just so you know this, but it is just filled. I thought it might be great for you to have a copy of it, though, in case you wanted to honor, your presence at like the awards assembly or some of the other activities that happen at the end of the year. Also, I kind of want to go out on a tangent today. We were at the FFA barn today, and as you know, we offer a lot of programs at Charles Page High School that we just incorporate because there's interest. And but Cassidy was with me. We ran into a young man who is an FFA, kind of embedded in showing swine and all that stuff, but started up a conversation, and he really got excited about aerospace. And so he's going to be in year 2, just kind of as an extra tonight. But it was so fun talking to him. He got really excited about that program and loves Mr. Palmer, and assured him that the next year's teacher is going to be equally as intense in making sure that program is great. And then I had to mention, did you go fly? Because I know you all know, but Mr. Palmer took a group of students to Poga Airport, and they actually got to fly with permission from parents. But it was phenomenal and made me super, super nervous. But he was intrigued by the whole thing and just pumped up about it. So just an example of how kids respond to things that we intentionally do to spark interest in what they want to do next. So it was phenomenal. That was maybe the highlight of the whole month, to be honest. Lots of stuff going on, though. If you are paying attention, I know you're very well aware of the SRA, the new reading bill, and our principal team is on that as well, making some intentional efforts to make sure we're doing the best thing we can for kids to prevent retention. Battle of the Books was this month. That was a fan favorite of a lot of our parents and students. Really promoting the love of reading. And then lastly, Lisa Wolf was honored at the Thunder game, which is really a big deal. So if you haven't caught, I think Lisa promoted it on our social media page, you ought to watch it, because she, of course, was amazing and speaks well always of the district and our field. So Lots of things going on with instruction. If you have questions.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Is there any literature out there that can help or explain to parents better that reading really needs to be done at home also?
So it's
I mean,
interesting.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when you
Yeah.
read to your kids, when the kids read to you, when you take the time during the day or the evening
Sure.
to read with your kids, or we did,
Right.
you know, and I didn't know if there's anything out there that we can, you know, because parents always want to gripe about, oh, you know, my kid's not reading at level. Well, are
Right.
you doing anything at home? No. Well,
Right. There is a ton of peer-based research. I mean, a lot of research about reading at home. When you look at the amount of words that kids are exposed to prior to coming to school, it's their success, even into high school, but definitely by third grade with reading skills, is just so much better if they're exposed to language. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, ridiculous, hard. It's really about just reading books or talking to them. I mean, there's tons of research out there. And I think the goal of the legislature, while we might not agree with the retention element, I do think there is a genuine goal to make sure kids are literate. I think that's a goal we can all get on board with. Repeating twice, not really a fan favorite. There's also some literature about how that's not exactly the best pattern of intervention for kids, but definitely a lot of research about just exposure to language in general. It's interesting if you look at the correlation with poverty and reading too, because there is a very high correlation between poverty and then the inability. So I think that plays into it. I think parents that are hooked up just trying to make a living for their kids that don't necessarily feel like they have the time to spend, it's just harder. So we try to fill those gaps with interventions and what we can do. But yes, to answer your question, the answer is yes. Tons of research.
I do have a question on it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like, I don't know. From when Addie went through third grade, it was probably the worst 2 weeks of our school life, period. She was terrified to go to school. She was stressed out to take
Right.
tests. Is there a narrative that can kind of, and I know you can't do it like state level,
Right.
but, you know, from Addie and Alex, there was a 2-year difference. Well, he didn't have those.
Right.
So it was just going to school, just all normal. But, I mean, it was a fight with Addie. And she likes getting up and coming to school. She's pleasant, but she was literally terrified.
I mean,
That's just my
I don't think that you can totally narrow test anxiety with kids. And I think for staff, it's not that we don't want to minimize the importance of doing well, but you also try to set them at ease. We all lived through, I'm looking at people that were around when the reading, Barbie's in the back nodding, reading retention was a thing, I don't even know how many years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. It was terrible. And we fought it hard, and it got repealed. I think they're looking at the progress with Mississippi. They feel like that made a difference with that state. I think sometimes we forget that repeating a grade, obviously, when you get it twice the next year, you're going to do better, but you do hit a plateau. And I mean, I've got a reading specialist sitting in the audience with Miss Noel, and we've talked through that long and hard. But at the same time, I do think our job is to bring our best in terms of strategies to kids, and that's what we're working on with our parents. And so we've created a platform with our elementary principals to really make sure they're equipped to be the instructional leaders. And I think if kids gain that confidence in being able to read and they're not struggling, then it's a little easier. Does it take away the test anxiety? No. I think you're always going to have kids that are going to struggle with that. But, I mean, the bottom line is you got to get them to a place where they're competent and they feel comfortable. I don't know if any of you all want to speak up. I know I've got 3 people in the front row right now that have dealt with this a lot. And so, I don't know if you want to.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's a big deal, especially socially in third grade. So that's our argument with the legislature.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's the point.
And I
It's
get
not the reading portion,
Yeah.
the taking the test. It's the
It's scary.
possibility of being held back in
Yeah.
third
Right.
grade.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I feel like that's all they hear, because I couldn't, anything I said to Addie, it was just like, she did not hear it. She was just focused on that one thing. I have to do good or I'm not going to make it. And I'm
Right.
like, you're going to do good. You've got to just relax. You're going to do fine.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Back to what, Mr. Nobles was saying too, though, is, I mean, we feel like by third grade, it's kind of late. Like
It is.
I agree. Yeah.
kindergarten, first grade, second grade, when they're starting to have that struggle, that's when they need the help, and that's when we really need that partnership with the parent to get them where they need to be. Because when you get to third grade, you're like, yes, they're fine, we can work to get them caught up, but the problem is the test is still gonna be there.
I think when you talk, I agree with you 100%. I think when you talk to legislators, they're starting to recognize and verbalize that it starts with the parents at home. We were sitting on a panel with Dr. Hamlin, who's the Secretary of Education under Governor Stitt. And the purpose of that committee was to bring together resources that parents could access for free in order to encourage just read-alongs. You're in the car, you're looking at road signs, you're just investing in a conversation in the grocery store. Oh, look, we're in the baking aisle. I wonder what we could bake. Ooh, look at this. These are chocolate chips. Can you, and, just that kind of language infusion. Unfortunately, that project, they lost funding for it, and so it kind of quit midstream around October of this year. So I do think there's some recognition statewide that it's a partnership. Parents have to be engaged to get the kind of results we want with any kind of instruction or intervention that we put forth. Claudia's sitting in the back raising her hand.
Yeah, I have 4 things if I can interject. So we're starting a reading bus project. Got a hold of Eric Anderson.
Love it.
And I've been in contact with Muskogee, Union, Jenks, and Stillwater, who all have reading buses. So we're working on that as a project. So at least we have the bus, and maybe get Career Tech to help us, transition it from a bus to a reading bus. And some of the things they do is, in the other towns, other districts, is take it to the ECEC, for instance, when enrollment's going on. Take it to, like we'll have Truck Touch, going to events like that, Herbal Affair, taking it to the sites, because we want to bring it to the families that can't come to us necessarily. So that's a project that we're working on. We just wrote a grant for We Read books, and these are books that we can send home with families. And we probably need, if we get the grant, we would be piling it at Northwoods, where families would come in with their children and check out books, and they're We Read. So the adult would read the left-hand side, and the student would read the right-hand side. And it's also to help the families, because we know not all families are at necessarily a certain reading level as well. So it's only not only helps the kids, it helps the adults, and they work together. And it's a way to get parent engagement involved in our schools. The OSDE actually has chosen us as one of 6 sites in June to have a parent and family engagement night on June 17th. And it's primarily for Sand Springs families, but also is reaching out to the community. Berry Hill, Sepulpa, anybody in our region is also invited. And we're having a teacher PD day this June 18th. And then Toys for Tots just delivered almost 3,000 books today. Lisa was there with me, and Ms. Spencer were there. And those are books that we can either send home to families. It's up to us. We just received the books, and it was announced this week. So we can decide, do we want to send them home with families? It was based on our October 1 count. Each student at a Title I school, which is all of our elementaries and our middle school, could get a book sent home, or we could invest them into our library. So we're working very hard to change the way we do things.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't learn to read in school.
Right.
I learned to read at home,
Sure.
sitting in my mom's lap with Run, Spot, Run. I mean, that's where I learned to read.
Right.
And so we need to get the parents more involved at the ECEC level.
Agree.
At parent-teacher nights at ECEC.
Yep.
Who's reading to their kid?
Right.
We need to get your kids reading. I mean,
Agree.
that's not too early
I agree.
to get
Claudia,
started.
thank you for bringing all of that up, because we hear it on the daily. She's working like crazy. And anyway, I can't say enough about the work Claudia does, because she headed up RSA, SRA, I don't even know what it is now, but that whole program, and then the addition of Robin Harris has been a really great complement to install. And so it's hard to do that work on our own, but thank you, because we are doing those things. We can't follow them home, you know what I mean? We can't follow them home and make sure they're following through and doing what we know works.
But we can give them strategies.
That's right, yeah.
Follow through and not just, it's not that we just throw a book at them and go, here, make it work. It's us being able to guide them through the whole.
Sure.
I think it's really important to push the read to, read with, or read independently. And if they are reading, what are you reading? What is it about? What's the main idea? You know, when they kind of get to that point. That I think that, you know, a million years ago when I was a principal, I think we had that reading and they had to read so many minutes and we had to come up and read to you all. But it wasn't always just about you reading a book to them. It's like you read a page, they read a page. And so we are going back to look at what we used to do. And that's part of what principals are looking at. Like, how are we going to push this forward and what is that? You know, what does that look like? And with Lisa and being able to push things out about ideas, because, you know, kids will read and then they just kind of read and that's it. But you all know this, but a lot of parents wouldn't know to ask those questions like, well, who are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Dick and Jane. Or, you know, well, what is Spot going to do? He's going to run. What is he running for? He's running for the ball. So they just read it and then that's it. But to start giving those parents
Conversations.
the ability and those skills about how do you push that forward and what does that look like.
Good question, though. I think we all agree with you. It's just,
Do we have similar programs for English language learners?
we do. Sean's not here, and Claudia can probably respond to that too, because she handles federal programs. So do you want to expand on that one?
We include them in everything that we do, so
Yeah.
they're not exempt. For the grant that we wrote with Dollar General that I turned in on the 2nd, that also includes Spanish, Chinese, and there was a third language beyond English. But yeah, so we also include those in all of our efforts. Yeah, based on our population.
I will say, while we may disagree or combat some of the things that, I do think there's a genuine interest in making sure we achieve. And so you can't deny the need for that. So we're just working our tails off to make sure that happens. So thank you for that question. Anything else?
Can I go home now? I had a good question.
No, that was a great question, but you can't go home yet. Yeah.
Well, resource innovation.
So resource innovation is about district finance strategies and facilities and all those things. I attached some pictures in case you haven't been by, but boy, all you have to do is drive by to see the press box. It's amazing. All the building projects are coming along. I would challenge you to go by and see Page Academy. That might be one of my proudest moments of the day, just because it was so bad, I think. And so now they have some steps, and anyways, it's great. We're waiting on the sign. We want it to be tall enough for people to see from the street, so that got hung up a little bit. They had to raise the concrete, but everything's going really well. The Boyd Middle School project will be done when school starts, which is great. Demo won't be completed, but definitely the kids are going to be going to school at the new middle school. Lastly, just know that the state revenue report still yields probably less money than we had this year for fiscal year 27. So just, I always keep that in the front, because that's on my mind and Mr. Wyans' mind constantly, because we know we have to be able to keep the doors open and continue to provide services. And so we always think about what we have to look forward to in the budget next year. So we provide that to you guys so you can peruse through that. That's it, other than the switch, which really doesn't really mean much to the public in terms of the board agenda, but the platform for OSSBA, we may incorporate that into our board agenda and notes for next year. Lisa Chittister is working on ADA compliance for all things website, which we have to meet requirement by the end of next school year. So it's a trick. Apparently PDF files are not really nice, treating us nicely on the website in terms of compliance with accessibility, so she's been working through that. But the new board structure for Assemble would be compliant, which makes it her job a little bit easier, at least with board meetings, which is public. So unless you have questions, we can
Number
move
8.
on to number 8. Families and communities, just, how are we improving on communication. I put the enrollment post out there. I don't know if you're engaging in social media with the video war between Northwoods Fine Arts Academy and Charles Page High School, but they're getting super creative, and apparently there's 2 more videos out today with promotion of enrollment. We've kind of talked in cabinet about how we should enter into that game too, but I don't know if I can keep up with them. They're too creative maybe, but it's pretty fun. I would encourage you to look those 2 up on Facebook.
Kind of expected Carrie to come wearing them sunglasses tonight.
Right?
She didn't have them on.
I know, it's true. I know, it's the eyebrow raise from the Northern Kids. It's precious. We had coffee with cabinet during conference night at Charles Page High School, and hoped we'd have more than, I think Mr. Duncan was there with his wife, which was great. But we're going to keep trucking, trying to get people in and catch them where they're at. But it makes me think that when people are pretty satisfied, maybe that's the reason, or at least I like to tell myself that, so we'll see. So I will say one of the at least biggest impacts, I think, in terms of presenting students might be our podcast. We just did one with our biomed students, so we had a couple of them talk about their biomed project. They were 4th-year seniors that I think did a phenomenal job telling the public what they were doing, why were they were in biomed. They had started as freshmen or finishing the program, which is also amazing, and they were soccer players, which just goes to show you don't have to be fully engaged in academics to also be fully engaged in sports as well, and they did a great job. So if you haven't seen it, I would challenge you to go watch Eli and Landon and sharing their capstone project with us on our podcast. Any questions? Safety-wise, the Safe Schools Committee meeting agenda is for your perusal in the notes. But the biggest thing I want to talk about is the resource officer bill that's making its way through the legislative season this year. If you don't advocate for anything else, it would be great to advocate for that. I think it's going to go through, but of course everything's dependent on funding. This wouldn't be additional funding, it would be a continuation of funding we already have, which supports one of our resource officers. So anytime you can get an ear from the legislature, really support that. Regardless, we would find a way to pay for it because those folks have been intimately involved in all things Sand Springs Public Schools have been such a coup for us. So any questions about health and safety related?
I just want to add to what you said about our resource officers, just watching them interact with the people and the public at sporting events and other activities.
Right.
They're not just standing there collecting their pay, they're actually involved.
That's right.
And that's pretty special.
It is special. We access them all the time. I know they have a set number of hours that they work, but I can call them or text them at any time during the evening or weekends, and I'm going to get one of them, which is fantastic. Because, not all things safety happen during the school hours. A lot of it happens after hours, too. So you're right. They've been phenomenal. So, questions?
All right, consent agenda.
Yeah, so there's just a few things I want to bring out on the consent agenda. The first, on number 19, I would just like to mention the Hall of Fame banquet. I know some of you can't go because we have an OSSBA Region 4 meeting that's happening that same night. Of course, we have two, here in this room. The banquet will be at Bright Morning Farm. Arlie Christmas and Cindy Phillips are being inducted into the Hall of Fame. However, they're also inducting honorary members of the first class, I believe 60 graduated in 60, I don't know, there's a plaque. But the desegregation of Charles Page High School, that's important, I think. So they'll be honorary members of the Hall of Fame, which is great. Let's see. Item number 21, I mentioned this because I mentioned it last time. We were granted the supplemental allocation for both projects 553 and 554, so we have a little bit more money to spend in those projects. Those are the after-school programs for 21st Century and summer. And then item number 22, it's a long list. Some of them are teachers, but I feel the need to mention we do such a good job, in my opinion, reaching out to folks, getting letters of intent back so we know early when people are going to exit. So you see a fairly big list here. Some are teachers, some are support. But Kristen Arnold's office does a really great job getting those in. You'll see postings going up at this point and really getting the hiring started pretty quickly. So she does a phenomenal job.
I will say, I don't know if I can approve Mrs. Spence.
I know.
I already told her that. I was like, I'm going to say nay.
Nay to that one.
There's
Yeah,
a
unfortunately, regardless, she won't be back. And I asked her if she'd come back and train. Can you just come back and train everyone else?
Right.
So there was that.
If you look at that long list, I mean, yes, but when you consider percentage, it's really not that high. We are losing some good ones, but the other part of that is I've already physically had 3 that have signed, and I have 3 more names that were turned into me. So if you kind of mark 6 more off the list, it gets even smaller.
True.
It's
And
not the whole alphabet.
so based
Not
on,
A through Z.
it's really not. Yeah. Right. So we calculated retention rate at first blush with letters of intent. We were at 93% and some change. So that's unheard of as a state, to be honest. And so I'm proud of that. Item number 25 has to do with a renewal of the 2 school-based family specialists. Those are funded 80% by DHS, which is great. So we're talking about Aubriana Hightower and Winter Smith, who do secondary and elementary family outreach, which has been brilliant. The newest endeavor is the Sandite Swap Shop, which I just think is brilliant. I don't know, Carrie, if you want to expand on that, but
So Aubriana came up with this idea, and essentially it's going to be, think of it like a free garage sale that Salvation Army is letting us do it there inside of Salvation Army, and essentially any family that might need something can come, and if somebody else has left it or somebody else has donated it, then they can pick that thing up and they can take it. And so it's, a shop to swap is what
Yeah.
what they're calling it, and it's brilliant. It's such a great idea. It's such a non-judgmental way to allow
Right.
people the opportunity to maybe get some things that they might not be able to afford or not be able to have the luxury of getting on their own. And I know I'm cleaning out my garage this week to do that because I'd rather do that than do a garage sale. I'd
That's what I was
rather
gonna
do
ask.
that. And Aubriana has just been so instrumental in that, and she even negotiated with Salvation Army that they're going to haul off anything that's left behind and have somewhere that they're donating it, and so it's even kind of a
so what's the how-to? How do people take their things?
What kinds of things?
household items, clothing items, appliances, furniture, anything like that.
So garage sale-ish,
got
kind of.
It's literally a
I've got some stuff.
shop swap.
Yeah, I love that.
Message went out today. Does the school board get the communication?
You get the all-staff communications, right?
Lisa
Yeah.
sent a flyer out
I don't
today.
believe I got that one,
I
though.
don't
So
think I
where's
did either.
Cindy? Cindy's in the room back there, but we'll make sure.
The flyer has the times of the day this week that you can drop things off at the Salvation Army.
Oh, okay.
I'll send that to you if we don't have it.
Yeah, it's now through Thursday, 7 a.m.
Oh, you did get one. Yeah.
I think 5 p.m. each day.
Okay.
Donate, you can drop off, and then you will get a ticket that allows you early entry into the swap shop, so you can go and shop for the first hour that they're open.
That is fun. Yeah. How fun.
And then I just highlighted item number 26. Claudia talked about that a little bit. And this is Sean, by the way, Bridget's struggling. She's had surgery, kind of emergency surgery. So keep Sean in your prayers today. And that's it, I think.
Get on 29.
29.
Just a question on the virtual academy. Are numbers still what they were? Are they?
Well, they're not where they were with COVID, but we still have a fair amount of kids in virtual. How
We're still almost 600 blended and full virtual combined.
Oh, wow.
And we're nowhere near the 1,200 we were during COVID.
Right. I just was curious if it was still, when we first had it, it was like really popular and everybody wanted to do 1 class or 2 class, and now just, if the new wore off and people are like, I just want to go back to school, or.
They like the blended. We have a lot of kids that take advantage of it they do tech and then they do virtual so they can go to work after tech or before tech, TCC.
So,
Yeah.
right, so that has tapered off. Really, if there's a taper, it's elementary, which is great. Yeah.
Good, thank you.
I will say, I hired a graduate from last year, and she was full, online, and she was full online because she had to get a full-time job.
Right.
Her sophomore, junior, senior year. And
Right.
so, yeah, and she's awesome.
It works for kids, and we talk about the kinds of needs Page Academy kids have. We're going to be graduating 42 Page kids this year. It's amazing, and a couple are heading to college. So we have 2 that are college bound, which is fantastic. So
One that she tried out and made the dance team at Emporia State. She's graduating as a junior.
That's awesome.
yeah. So what Mr. Mullins was at the Alumni Association meeting today at noon, and we got to expand on our programs, and Kendra Roulette was there talking about what she does as a counselor, and then Sarah Wright was there talking about the internship program, and all of that jives together. And to expand and say what we do at Sand Springs Public Schools from pre-K to grade 12 is there's not enough time. But what I did notice when we got excited about what we're doing, by the way, the kid at the FFA barn said, we need a hanger. And I said, that's what Michael Palmer says. So thank you for that. But you could see the faces on the alumni too get excited. I think when people see us get really pumped up about what we do for kids, then it's like, it just expands across the room. I don't know, Mike, if you noticed that you start seeing smiles on the faces.
It was exciting to hear it, and the thing that I really got excited about was Sherry didn't bring up the virtual academy. They asked about it.
They did.
So they recognized what we were doing, says, how's that going this year? And she got to bragging that, 42 kids are graduating. They're like, oh my goodness. They won't know when the graduation was because some of those alumni is going to show up. So it's pretty nice.
And where? Which I didn't answer quickly, but I've got the answer for them. So people notice stuff like that. And I do think it's all about attitude and how we present ourselves and how, we quote unquote brag about the things that we're doing for kids. So it was fun. That was fun today. So that's the consent agenda, unless you guys have questions on some of the other items.
Any more questions? Do we hear a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve the consent agenda items as listed.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. A vote, please.
Mullins.
Aye.
Hanlon.
Aye.
Noggle.
Aye.
Spoon.
Aye.
Wagers.
Aye. Okay, action items. Number 30, proposed executive session to discuss temporary teacher recommendations for the 26-27 school year. Okay, seeing none, moving on. Number 31, proposed approval of temporary teacher recommendations for the 26-27 school year.
I make a motion to approve number 31 as stated.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. We vote, please.
Can I just add one thing? 2 math teachers, Kristen, nice job. Hard to find math teachers, and you're getting 2 of them at once. I love it.
Yeah, I just hired him.
Oh,
So you give credit to the principal, because they've been hustling, but, I mean, we got them out early, and I'm excited about them, so, and, Sean, they're not done. So they've done some really great people. We hired a doctor, too, so.
he's one of them tonight.
We still went, and he's pumped about being here, too, so I think everybody we've hired this far, I'm excited.
Very nice.
Okay, vote, please.
Mullins.
Aye.
Hanlon.
Aye.
Noggle.
Aye.
Spoon.
Aye.
Wagers.
Aye. Number 32, proposed approval of policy revisions to add to the district manual policy.
So I think Ms. Schleber went over that last meeting. It was just an upgrade of the threat assessment.
Okay. Any questions? Do we hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the policy revisions to the behavioral threat assessment.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a vote and a second, or a vote, a motion and a second. How about a vote, please?
Mullins.
Aye.
Hanlon.
Aye.
Noggle.
Aye.
Spoon.
Aye.
Wagers.
Aye. 33, proposed approval of the Sand Springs Public Schools instructional calendar
So
change.
this is a calendar change for this fiscal year that incorporates the inclement weather days, and we had 4 of them. So Ms. Noel made the adjustment in the calendar. And I have to give a little caveat and kudos to Angela Noel. We just did our last accreditation visit, and we passed with 0 deficiencies. So she's a hand. She is like a sponge and has just made a relationship with someone that is in command, that's very type A and wants things specifically correct in all ways, and she has shined. So thank you for taking care of that this year.
Good.
Good deal. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the instructional calendar change for the school year 25-26 inclement weather.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Vote, please.
Aye.
Hanlon,
Aye.
Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon,
Aye.
Wagers.
Aye. Okay, and we did number 34. Okay, any matter not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the posting of this meeting.
No, ma'am.
Any announcements?
Not that I can think.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
We don't hear a peep from you all night.
I was saving it up.
Alicia seconded. Did you hear that? Okay, we have a motion and a second. A vote, please.
Mullins,
Aye.
Hanlon,
Aye.
Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon, Wagers.
Aye. Thank you guys very much.